Talk. I'm Steele Chambers, and the college football playoffs are finally upon us, and I couldn't be any happier. And to kick off the first round, we've got a Crimson Avalanche over in Norman as the Alabama Crimson Tide fight and claw and scratch their way back from a 17-point deficit and punch their ticket to Pasadena by beating the Oklahoma Sooners. So let's get to the tape.
Let's be honest with ourselves. Oklahoma came out throwing haymakers on this Alabama team. Mateer and this offense drive the field, and they cap it off with a QB counter. They're going to flare out the running back, maybe try to get some bodies moving on the second and third level, but this play is meant to hit on the interior. The guard and tight end pull around, have some nice kick-out blocks, but the play is made because of this defensive end getting out of his gap. So Bray Hubbard's going to come downhill, he's got a clean shot of Mateer, but the end tries to spin back inside, and he gives the quarterback a clear cutback lane. Pair that with some bad tackling and not tracking the hip, and John Mateer is able to score and draw first blood. It's 17-0. You finally have a positive drive, but you cannot settle for a field goal here on fourth down. You got to roll the dice and go for 6. And thank God they did, because this was the play that flipped that switch in Alabama's whole mentality. They come out in an empty set, and they run a spot 7 concept to the bunch trio. The point man's going to run a 7 cut or a corner route, and the inside man runs a fast to the flat. So they clear out this zone, and it allows this receiver to settle down in the soft spot of the defense right in front of these zone defenders. Then Simpson finds Brooks, he makes a couple guys miss, and Alabama finally gets on the board and starts the process of digging themselves out of this hole. And it didn't take long to do that. You've got the big drop pass by the Sooners, you have that botched punt, and now this pick 6. All of a sudden, you're looking up at the scoreboard, and that lead's completely evaporated. So Alabama, they're going to show 7 up in the line of scrimmage, showing a cover 0 in the back end, but everyone's going to bail out on the snap into a cover 2 look. But let's take a look at this corner right here at the bottom. He's going to roll down as a flat player, and he's got eyes on Mateer the entire play, ready to break on anything. Now, this may be an attempted side adjustment that wasn't made known to the receiver, but these guys just aren't on the same page. He thinks he's going to sit it down for a quick hitch, but he ends up throwing it straight to Xavier Brown, and he takes it back to tie this game up right before half. To follow up that pick 6 and keep things rolling in the second half, Ty Simpson delivers an absolute dot to Latier Brooks, and they dominate the middle 8 of this game. So they're going to be running a smash concept against Oklahoma's man defense. You got your split out receiver. He's going to run a simple 10-yard curl route. And then the slot receiver is going to run a 7 cut. And the combination of bad technique on defense paired up with great route running on offense is what really opens up this entire play. So the down safety on Brooks, he doesn't get a jam or a reroute on him, so he's off the line completely unbothered. So Brooks is able to press the defender's toes. He stems inside and forces him to flip his hips to the inside. Then he breaks it off to the outside, away from the deep safety, and Simpson lays it up for the go-ahead touchdown. And Alabama, after a catastrophic start to this game, scores 24 unanswered points, and they take the lead in Norman. Oklahoma wasn't out for the count just yet. There's still plenty of ball left, and Mateer gives them some life with this 37-yard touchdown strike. So Alabama, they're going to be running a cover 2, and Oklahoma executes a beautiful post-dig concept to manipulate the zone. And it basically works the same as the dagger concept, where you're going to have a vertical route downfield and then a dig coming in from behind it. So the post route, it keeps the deep corner and the deep safety occupied, and it clears up this area for the dig right behind these hook players. So the underneath linebackers, they don't get enough depth in their drop, the safety is run off, and now Mateer is able to throw an absolute laser to Deion Brooks, and he slips through the defense for a touchdown. Little wrinkle that possibly could have helped Alabama on this play would be running a Tampa 2 with a middle runner. You put a guy out there with solid instincts and an understanding of route concepts, and they'd run with this vertical from number 2. They'd keep eyes out on number 1, and as soon as they see him dig it inside, they would sink off and possibly even have a big-time pick. But it doesn't happen here, and Oklahoma's able to counter with a big-time body shot on this Bama defense. Bama answered right back with a touchdown of their own, and then they turn this defense loose. It's an obvious pass down on 3rd and long, but they don't run anything crazy here. Just a simple pick play run to perfection. The down linebacker on the snap makes a beeline to pick this tackle's hip. And not only is he going to pick him for the end to wrap around, he's going to ricochet off him and keep working to the quarterback. And this leaves the guard in a bind. He can either block his man who picked the tackle, or he can block the end wrapping around who's free. He decides to go for the picker, he leaves Kelby Jones completely untouched, and he's able to get the quarterback sack and forces the punt. And after a few more stops and missed field goals, Alabama, having been beaten and bruised right out the gate, storms back and eliminates the Sooners in their own house. What a way to start the playoffs. Alabama gets ragdolled in that first quarter, and then in the second, you've got the Robinson drop, you've got the botched punt, you've got the interception. Now you're looking up at the scoreboard, and it's 17-17, and it feels like the Tide's just going to keep on rolling. Simpson looked a lot more comfortable in the pocket. The defense started setting pressures, and this just looked like the Alabama team that we saw earlier on this year. But If you're DeBoer and company, you got to strap it up and look at the next one, because now you're going to Pasadena and you're about to play in the granddaddy of them all.